In this video, I am going to be using all of these ingredients to make my version of the Meat Church smoked meatloaf. It's something that as soon as I saw the video, I thought it would be something I would want to try. I'm going to be using the Weber kettle to do this one as well. Just like all of the videos on my channel, I'm going to try and do everything on the Weber kettle. I might cheat a little bit, put it in the oven to maintain the temperatures a little bit better. I'm not going to be doing that here for this one because it's not going to be as long of a cook. I figure because meatloaf is kind of a nostalgia type thing for me, reminding me of my upbringing, why not wear a shirt that would also have that same nostalgia? So anybody watching this who was a Ninja Turtles fan, it's for you. If you are enjoying the videos, liking this one, give it a thumbs up, but then also subscribe to the channel. So let's just kind of get into it. So right here we have the 3 pounds of ground beef. I went with lean. I didn't do extra lean, anything like that. 4 slices of, I'm using brown bread because we don't use white bread in the house. 1 onion. This recipe does not call for garlic, but I like garlic, so I'm going to be chopping that up fine as well. And then we have the 1 pound of breakfast sausage, which would just be like pork sausage. And then this is my homemade barbecue rub, which is just kind of what I've just created. I don't remember even what I put in it, but it's just, you can use whatever you want. And then I don't have the Meat Church garlic and herb rub, so I'm just gonna kind of do my rendition on that. The Worcester sauce, barbecue sauce, and then we have our milk. So the cool thing about YouTube, you don't have to see me kind of cutting everything up. So I will just, see, it was so quick, you didn't have to see any of the cutting or anything. So here's the 4 cloves of garlic, the 1 onion, 4 slices of the bread, and this is our pork sausage, that is our ground beef, our milk, and then barbecue sauce, Worcester. This is the garlic, granulated garlic, and then the Italian, which is just like herbs and stuff. So I'm hoping this is gonna give it the same kind of flavor as the Meat Church. So the first thing we will do is use this bowl and put in the whole wheat bread. And then we will add the 1/3 cup of milk and just kind of let this get moist, smoosh it down. Okay, just put that to the side. And now for the good part. So we will add in the ground beef. This is just grocery store, 3 pounds. I don't know what kind it is. I didn't do anything fancy. It was on sale and I bought it. The cost of this meatloaf in meat alone is, it's about $20. So it's not the cheapest, but it does give a good amount of actual meatloaf. So this is the 4 cloves of garlic. Again, not required, but I like it. And then here is the onion. I like onion. And then we have our Worcester sauce. And the barbecue sauce. You can use your own or you can just anything. This is my favorite. It's the Raise one. And then the Italian seasoning and the garlic. So let's just give this a little mix. I'm sure gloves would be useful at this point, but yeah, I don't have any, so we'll just do it old school. So let me cut out so that you don't have to watch me do this boring stuff, because we still do have the bread that is kind of soaking. So give this a little mix. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, so we can add the bread in as well. Let me get all this mixed in and then I will come back. Okay, so the meatloaf has been mixed up and you can just kind of see what it looks like there. It's looking really good, it smells great. And then these are the sheets or the dishes or the pans or the pots that I'm gonna use. And the loaf pan, that's what they're called. And so I'm gonna put it in the freezer for, based on the recipe, 4 hours. The way to do this is you wrap it in saran wrap. That way you can take it out easier. So let's see how this goes. Not the biggest fan on saran wrap, never works for me. Okay, so we have the one. And we have the second. So these are 13-inch pans by 5. So 5 inches wide by 9. According to the recipe, I should be able to get 2 out of it. Let's start just popping it in there and then we will put it in the freezer. So let me just go pop these in the freezer and we'll come back in about 4 hours. So funniest thing is I forgot to put in the egg. So I'm going to have to kind of start over these parts again. Not sure how important the egg actually plays in this, but we're gonna put it in. So let me mix this back up, get out of the shell, and then we will put it back in. Welcome back. So I actually let the meatloaf freeze in the freezer for about 24 hours. I did this yesterday and my plan was just for the 4 hours, but with small kids and dinner times and stuff like that, we would have been eating dinner around 9 o'clock. And that's if everything goes perfectly. So we figured, you know what? The first meatloaf, same recipe, I made 2. I actually popped it in the oven. I did some videos of that one as well. And then towards the end, I'll give you my my feedback in terms of which one I like better. And then, so it did turn out. So let's just go and grab the meatloaf from the freezer and then we will get it, I'll put some Worcester sauce on it and then I'll put my barbecue rub that I made. And then we can, you know, get it onto the smoker, which is the Weber Kettle, which is getting ready as we speak. So this is gonna be our setup. And pretty much it's going to be the snake method that we are using. And then, so I have the Weber briquettes that I'm using, along with, on top of those, I've sprinkled these Vermont casting, just wood chips. You can kind of use anything. This one is hickory. Hickory sounds cool. To be honest, whenever I've smoked anything, I've never noticed a difference between any of the woods I've used. But I'm sure there's tons of people that will. And then on the top here, just a little bit more, and I'm using apple for that. Again, not a huge difference on it. So that's, I guess we'll go get our starters lit and then we can throw it on here to start the snake, and then we can pop on the meatloaf and fingers crossed, hope for the best. It's about 200, so I'm waiting for it to get to 250, and then I'm gonna play with the vents a little bit to hopefully maintain those temperatures for the duration of the cook. And because it's a frozen meatloaf, I won't be able to put the probe in right away, so I'm probably gonna have to let it go the first hour. One thing I'm scared of is the meatloaf is like just gonna like fall apart. It would be such a waste of a meatloaf if that happened, but I'm hoping that it being completely frozen is gonna help that. So let's get it, and then we can get started. So we have it in the freezer here. It's frozen solid. So we are back. We have the meatloaf. The saran wrap in the baking sheet does make it like extremely easy to get out. Just make sure to get all of the plastic out. I see some parts that got stuck in. Okay, hopefully that's the only one. If not, I'm gonna have some plastic. I'll just make sure I eat the ends. Okay, I think that's, yeah, that's good. So that's there. Let's put the Worcester sauce on it. As this is the binder. I'm hoping this turns out well. I've never put a meatloaf in a barbecue before. Get all of the sides all wet. So I just went and washed my hands. So this is the rub that I made, and I just kind of put in what I had: onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, black pepper, salt, and so we'll just kind of put this on. Hopefully we get a really good bark. So yeah, I'm excited to try it. And there's not way too much salt on here, so it's not too much of a worry about over salting. Plus we can always add that on after if we need to. The barbecue rub actually smells pretty good. I don't know, there's so many rubs out there, but I just find that what worries me about it is you might not always be able to find it. So if you can use basic ingredients that you have and you can make rubs that work, you're always guaranteed to have it. Okay, so that is good to go. So that is the meatloaf here. We will just kind of, you'll be able to see it a little bit up close. I'm really hoping it turns out well. It smells good. The smoker, or the Weber Kettle as we speak right now, is sitting at about 214 degrees. So I'll just kind of take you over. So it's got a good smoke there, and temperature 214, so it's still climbing. Both vents, bottom and top, are fully opened. So let's get back to temp, and then I will bring you back. Patience is not my virtue. The Weber Kettle is up to about 230, so I figure I can pop the meatloaf on now so that we can get it started. It's 2 o'clock, so if everything goes well and it's the 4-hour cook time, this should be ready by 6 p.m. So if you see me taking it off and it's dark, that means dark outside, that means that it went a little bit longer than it should have. So let's take this and we'll pop it onto the Weber right now, and then we can get everything started. That's the Weber right there. The temperature right now, 234. So let's get it on. Okay, so we have the kettle. So we're just still at the beginning of the snake. It's gonna go all the way through. This is the little hack here. You use a potato and pop the probe through that so that you can just keep an eye on the temperatures. So I'm gonna pop the meatloaf in and around here so that the drip tray that I have there will catch any of the juices, and it's not gonna make the barbecue all disgusting. So this is the meatloaf. Place it right over so that everything gets kind of caught, and I'll put the probe right next to it. So this is kind of the setup so that you can see it. So that's all the smoke on the top. I've also put wood chips on there as well. So let's get this covered, and then we will come back and check on it about an hour, make sure the temperatures are good, and see if I can pop the probe in so that I can monitor the temperatures of the meatloaf. real quick, I did hit temperature. You can see it's at 253 degrees right now, and this is Fahrenheit, which is pretty much what the Meat Church recipe calls for. He said he cooked it for 250 degrees for 4 hours. So all I did, now that we are at that 257 and climbing, we are going to stabilize it. So I closed the top vent a little bit where it is half. I haven't touched the bottom yet. I'll use that as if it keeps getting way out of hand, then I'll use that. But for now, I'm just gonna leave that. So let's get back to waiting. This is a very good view that I do like to see from the back deck. All the smoke coming through means that it's doing its work, and hopefully we get a very nice smoke ring from this. So here's the problem. There's a meatloaf out there, but I'm hungry. So I will kind of dip into the meatloaf that I did yesterday. So it's the same recipe from the Meat Church. The only difference is I used the oven. Okay, so it is done. This is what it's looking at right now. I cooked it at my wife's meatloaf recipe temperatures, which was 350 degrees for 40 minutes. And then we bumped it to 400 degrees for the last 15 minutes. Popped on some barbecue sauce ketchup mixture, put it in for another 10 minutes. So this is the meatloaf that we did with the oven. So my wife said it was a little dry. The meatloaf has really good flavor. It's cold, I didn't heat it up. I'm not one of those people that needs to have it super hot. So it's been sitting in the fridge. It is a little bit of a dryness, but all in all, it was a good meatloaf and I have no complaints about it. I didn't use the barbecue rub on top of it because I, to be honest, just forgot about this. But I did put it on to the one that's in the smoker. So I'm really hoping the smoked one is gonna taste really good to the point where we have our family meatloaf recipe, which I stole from Meat Church, but whatever, at least I'm giving them credit for it. So let's give you a close-up view of the meatloaf. It's, yeah, it was all in all, it was really good. So I just wanted to kind of share that, and then when I'm doing the taste at the end with the smoked one, I'll be able to give you a little bit of a comparison. So it has been an hour, and the temperature is at 246 degrees. It did get higher, so what I had to do is close the top vent a lot of the way, and then down at the bottom I closed it about half of the way, and that helped stabilize it to the 246 degrees. So it's been 1 hour. I'm not going to touch it yet, so we will come back in another hour, and at that point I'll check the meatloaf and also pop in the probe. So this is kind of how it's looking right now. Okay, so it is 4 o'clock. So this is 2 hours of it actually being cooked now. So I am going to put the probe in. That way we can monitor the temps of the actual meatloaf. Hopefully bring it to around 165 degrees. Temperature right now is sitting at 275. It's been fluctuating a little bit. I had it like 245 and then it went up to 290. So it's been stable. So let's open it up, and this is my first time opening it up since it's been put on. I haven't even peeked, so I have no idea what to expect. Hopefully it is all together. And it's looking pretty good. You do have, yeah, it's flattened a little bit, but what can you do? Hopefully it stays good. The snake is almost done, so we might have to add a little bit more charcoal
but we should be okay. So I'm going to cover it up now, and I don't want to really rotate it or anything. I should, but I don't want to for it to fall apart. So let me cover this up, and then we will see you back in about another hour. So we are back. It's been another hour, so total cook time has been 3 hours so far. We are sitting, and you can see there, it's at 300 right now. It was a little high, so I closed the vents. It went down a little bit. The temperature of the actual meatloaf is at 175, so pretty much it is done. So I'm going to rotate it, and then put on some of the sauce, and will also give us a chance to take a look. And yeah, hopefully it comes off okay. It is kind of falling apart a little bit. Let's see if I can okay, leave that out for now. And this is just more of the barbecue sauce that I used for it. This isn't what the recipe kind of calls, but this is kind of what I like. So it gives you that little bit of a baked on moisture in the sauce. It's smelling good. The snake is still going strong. So that's kind of the good thing about this barbecue. It maintains heat really well. We're sitting at about -1 here. And the temperatures have been going well. So that is pretty much what we're going to be at right now. So let me pop this back in. Okay, it's popping in easily. And then we'll come back here in a little while and take a look at it then. So we are at 5:45. So it is what is higher than I wanted, but life happens, and you'll see that from my other videos as well. So let's just take a look. I've sauced it. The snake pretty much went out, so it maintained about 300 degrees, 250 to 300 degrees for almost 4 hours. So if I went lower, it would have lasted longer. So all in all, it was really good that it kind of lasted that long. So let's get this off now. The texture on it is really good. So we'll just let that kind of sit there. We will take it inside. I will clean up this mess, which isn't too bad. And then I'll catch you back once we're ready to cut open the meatloaf and see how it is. Well, welcome back. It's been 4 hours of cook time, some prep time before that, but it's looking pretty good. I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm hoping it tastes well. But yeah, this is the meatloaf. So we will do the first cut kind of right down the middle. It looks pretty good. And just so you can kind of see it's got some juiciness to it. So I'm hoping it's not dry. So let me just do a little bit of a taste. Yeah, it's really nice. It's not dry at all. It's smoky. You can see a little bit of the smoke ring that is in the meatloaf there as well. So all in all, I would say that this was a good recipe to do. If I was making meatloaf, I would definitely do it again. That's just my little girl in the back. She must smell it. So yeah, I'd say that it's good. If you do like these videos, be sure to like them. Lets me know people are enjoying it, but also lets YouTube know that people are enjoying it. And we'll hopefully push it in front of other people. And then also subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be up to date with all videos as I do release them. And again, this channel is all about learning. So it's like not all of my recipes are gonna be good. There's gonna be a lot of bad ones. My second video ago, or 2 videos ago, that was a fail. You're gonna wanna check that one out. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time.
Can I have one bite? Me too. Just give me a little piece, I don't know. Can I have like the skin too? like it.